Hello, everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Happy Monday.
Did you miss us last week?
I have to say, it feels like forever.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, you know what it is? I hate to say it. In the world we live in today, everything moves very quickly.
Literally.
Everything moves very quickly. Gone are the days when, it's like, what's new this week? What was new last week? What's new next week, right?
Yes. Crazy.
Who are you, Dina?
I'm Dina. You can find me at The Knitting Place on Instagram, Ravelry, and Facebook.
I am Pam Sapp on Instagram and Ravelry, and Pam Sapienza on Facebook.
You're tuning into podcast number 222.
Lucky number 2.
From the Knitting Place podcast, where we cover knitting and crochet. We like to talk about life as it hits us.
Right.
And share our knitting experiences with you. So thank you for being here. You can always subscribe, check our show notes, which will be listed below.
Right.
I think, is it the bell you have to click on?
I think so. I don't even know if you have to hit the bell. I don't know what the bell gets you, but if you subscribe, you'll get notifications.
Right. And those subscriptions, by the way, they really help us.
Right.
So if you do like catching up with us, usually it's weekly, please don't forget to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's new, everyone? What have you been up to? Of course, we can't hear what you're saying.
No, but leave us a comment.
Leave us
Let
a
us
comment
know.
and tell us what you're doing, what you're knitting, what's new. And because we like to answer that as well. It gives us inspiration when you tell us what you're doing.
Definitely. Right. And it keeps it a two-way street as opposed to us just sharing what's going on our side.
Yep.
But it's always nice to hear about what's going on your end, what you're knitting, and what inspiration you found or what you have in your queue. Right. It's always inspirational for us too.
Dinah has been very busy. She's been a busy girl. You finished 2 test knits.
Oh, yes.
I did. Very busy.
Very busy. But that's not why we were off last week.
No, we had.
Because I was busy knitting.
No.
But I am very relieved to finish both
It's always nice when you finish a project. You can move on to something else, but especially when it's a test knit because it's a commitment and you want to get that done. And Dinah did get that done.
Just before the bell.
She's going to tell you all about it.
Just before the bell.
I think we should save what we're wearing for later unless you want to do it first.
Okay.
What do you think?
That's fine.
Whichever you prefer.
Doesn't matter.
Let's talk about a test knit.
Okay. So I guess
Which one came first?
Actually, the test knit for Caitlin Hunter.
Yeah.
Which I'm finally allowed to show in all of its glory.
Now, I should know what it was called. I don't remember the name. The Big Bobble Crop?
Big Bobble Crop, which is right here.
Nice.
I had styled it with jeans and a button-down shirt. It's funny, I had intended on wearing it today. But then we have these two lovelies, so
she'll wear it next week. Turn it around. Are the bobbles on the back?
The bobbles are on the back.
Are.
I did add length. I knit mine in Cotton Merino by Juniper Moon Farms. I used the colorway Oat Milk, and it took 4 skeins. Each skein has
229 yards.
Quite generous.
You did add length to it.
I did add length, so I think the
you did a whole new you did a bobble repeat.
I think two bobble repeats. Yeah, so I think it was intended to be about 7 inches.
Right.
I added 2 repeats. I had 40 grams left in the skein.
And these are, of course, 100-gram skeins.
Right. So I used 3.5. So people had messaged me wondering if they had extra to make it even longer. You do. You have almost half a skein. Right. And I already added length. So if you're doing a larger size, now sizing
what they can do while they're knitting it is they could weigh it before they start a bobble repeat, and then when they finish a bobble repeat, and they'll know how many grams the repeat takes.
You could check, So basically you have your bobble row, and then you have a relief section. So if you measure or weigh how much that repeat takes you, you can actually figure out how much extra length. The other option is, because it's worked from the top down, you first work the back to the armhole, then you pick up the front, you join, continue downward, and then join in the round. You can actually work your armhole bands and your neck bands first.
That's what you did.
I did not.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
I finished it first, and then I went and did the
did
finishing.
you really?
Yeah, unusual for me.
I know.
But you could, if you're worried about length and you don't want to play yarn chicken, you could do the finishing first since it's up at the top.
Yeah, and then you'll know that all the yarn you have, you can dedicate to your length if you want.
Exactly. Yeah. A couple of details about this knit. I love that this had a fold-over band that was sewn in. So you have this tubular edging, but it's not tubular. It's just a fold-over.
It's very neat looking.
Love it. To mimic that look, I did a tubular cast-off, which is right here.
So it looks like it's got that rounded edge.
Yes.
The pattern didn't call for that, though.
She actually, I think Caitlin said that she did a tubular bind-off, but she recommended that you can do a regular bind-off. Do your bind-off of choice. So on all edges, other than the neckband, which was the fold-over edge, I did opt for the tubular and even at the bottom.
Right. Well, once you're doing it, you might as well just...
Yeah. I love the finish of a tubular bind-off.
Right.
Love this sweater. Wore this on Thursday. Wore it to the shop.
It's a great top, if it's especially in the spring, if it's a little chilly out, you put that on. That's your jacket.
I
fabulous.
Just love it. It's super cute. And I know it's good when my kids say, Mom, I love that. I want to wear it.
Well, it's all about texture. It's all about texture.
We've been saying that a lot.
Let me just give one before we say anything else. This yarn is 70% organic cotton and 30% merino wool. And that's what it looks like. And the colors that we have were soft colors, and we'll show them to you, right?
Yeah. I do have to say one more thing.
Sure, I'm sorry.
People were asking me about the bobbles. Would I be kind enough to do a bobble video? I would be happy to do a bobble video. Someone asked me if I did my no-turn bobble. So not throughout the whole thing, but some of them I knit back and forth, and some of them I knit
You turned.
Knit righty? No, knit lefty.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't have to turn.
Well, you should do a video with the two of those things showing that. You should do that.
So
Dinah
totally
will
fun.
let you know when she puts it. You'll see it on.
Super fun.
Whatever.
Love this sweater. So highly recommend it. Caitlin's instructions were very clear. Caitlin Hunter, Boylan Knitworks.
And what size needle did you knit it on?
I think I was on a size 9. Oh, let me talk about sizing.
Okay.
So I did not knit mine to the positive ease that she recommended to knit.
Yeah.
So because I feel like I'm a little softig, I was a little self-conscious about having the bobbles on me. So I went for a size that had 5 inches of positive ease versus the 10 or 12.
Right.
That being said, I had a couple of customers come in who are leaner than I am, and they had put this on, and it looks amazing, oversized.
Exactly, yeah.
Not that I regret the size
Do you
that I
regret doing it?
No, I don't regret making it this size, but I think I could have carried it.
You could have
larger.
done it because,
Definitely.
Yeah, we were looking at that in the pictures. We commented on that as well.
Looks fabulous as an oversized piece.
Yeah.
And, of course, you decide how cropped you want it. Caitlin has a beautiful video how she styled hers. I think it's a reel on her Instagram page. So you should give Caitlin Hunter a follow, and you'll check. I'm sure you already follow her. But if not, give her a follow. And that's it.
Yeah, we were talking about texture, and I was speaking yesterday to my son's girlfriend. And how did it come up in the conversation? Rose came up in the conversation, and we were talking about, and she was very much interested in it. So we were talking about, I was showing her pictures of, from the shiva we went to, of Rose's projects, and we were saying how timeless those
all
designs are. And you know which
one
one she absolutely loved?
Wait, let me guess.
Guess. I mean, you're not going to know what it was because we.
Which one did she love? The poncho?
No. She didn't even see that one. I don't think I showed to it. She liked
the dresses?
The initials.
The initials.
Not surprised.
Not surprised at all.
Right?
Sophie loved that one
but
too.
She said her initials are not good. Her initials are N-O.
No.
That might
I like that.
That's cute. That would be even cuter.
You should make it for her. Oh, surprise.
That's such a commitment. I could
you
do
should.
that. She's lovely. I would definitely do it for her.
I've actually thought about how we're going to do that.
Good. But talk about texture, because everything is texture. Texture. And that follows suit.
Yes.
The bobbles.
Not to mention the yarn, and we'll show it to you closely. It's a blown yarn.
Yeah.
It's got, I think, 70% cotton. and 30% wool.
Correct, it does.
So if you look at it closely, you'll see that it's got a soft halo.
What is
really
the weight
pretty.
of this yarn, Dana?
It was knit at 4 stitches to the inch.
That's a
So I'd say,
medium weight,
yeah,
yeah.
medium heavy worsted.
Well, the gauge on the label says 16 to 20. So certainly it's a great weight that you can use for many things.
Now, keep in mind, when we initially showed this as a new product, in the shop, we also did mention that this could be a possibility for the Busan Tee if you wanted to have an opaque fabric.
Right.
So what do I mean by opaque? By opaque, up here you could see that my hand,
see it, yeah.
you can't see the skin through the garment. It's 4 stitches to the inch, but I have to say it's very, feel it.
Is that
very
what your
light.
gauge is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lightweight
very
yarn.
light.
Yeah, it's lightweight yarn. So
Really
you could do
nice.
that as well. So let's show you the colors. This is called Petal, right, Diane?
Yes.
A very soft pink.
Yes. Here it is. It's a very soft, what would you call that shade? Like a blush pink.
A blush pink, I'd call that. This is Dinah's color,
Oat milk.
oat milk. This is
Pistachio.
lovely shade. This.
Chambray.
Now I'm just going to hold the two together so you can see the difference between the chambray and the gray.
The gray is called Pebble. So
Right.
you could definitely see that one is a light blue, one is a gray.
And the last color we had was the
Chalk.
off-white.
Right.
Now, again, you can see the palette that we went with was a very soft palette. And that's what we have for now. Doesn't mean we won't do a few other colors later, but right now, this
Love
is
the
what
soft
we have.
palette.
So if you're interested in the yarn, it's open, right? The kits, are they buying it via the kit? Are they buying
Yeah,
it via
so
the
what
kit?
we did is, if you're interested in the yarn, we opened it up for, I guess you could say pre-order, as in
Some of it we have, but we can
Right.
also take orders.
we can
for it as
also
well.
take orders. It's a local company to us, so we should be able to get it rather quickly. However, if you're in a rush for it and I'm out of stock, please leave me a comment. If I don't have it, I will certainly call you, and if you need a refund, I can always issue that.
There
Look
you
at how
go.
pretty this
It's very
palette
pretty.
is.
It's very soft palette.
So, yeah,
it's
as you can
cohesive,
see-
a cohesive palette.
There are definitely dark colors available, but you can certainly see the texture,
Yeah, right. Yeah, and the
especially in a light color
Right.
versus a dark color, right? And I highly recommend checking out the project page from the big Bobble crop,
from Caitlin Hunter.
right? And you'll see different colors and different yarns that were
Right.
used.
Maybe going forward for the fall, it might be nice to have it in darker colors. But right
Absolutely,
now, we
but
like
for
the
now,
lighter colors.
spring is upon us.
Yeah.
Definitely went with the light palette to start.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So that was Dinah's first
FO.
FO.
Do you have any FOs?
I don't have any FOs.
Okay.
I just have whips.
So my second FO is right over there. Our beautiful mannequin is wearing it.
I gotta go this way. There you go. And that
She's wearing the
is
Sylven,
from Natasja Hornby.
designed by Natasja Hornby.
Yeah.
I also posted, I think I wore it to work on Friday, so I had it on the live if you want to see me wearing it. And you can also find a picture, my FO picture, on Ravelry as well as
It's a great summer top.
Instagram. Love it. Again, involves a lot of texture. Love the linear stitching here that goes down.
flattering,
It's
the
very
little-
flattering.
It's always nice when you have those straight lines. Didn't you say she also has bust darts in the pattern if you're
Yes,
interested
I
in that?
did mention that actually on my Instagram live when I was wearing it. I felt that, so for the first time I opted not to do the bust darts because I thought I had enough ease in the top. I went again with a top that had a 45-inch finished bust. Usually I do about 42, 43. So I thought with the additional ease, it would give me enough coverage
Right.
for the girls.
Yeah.
However, my thought process wasn't right.
What should you have done?
I should have done the bust darts. And
Really?
if I had done the bust darts, what it does is it actually allows a little bit of ease right in here.
Oh, okay.
So it does these like short rows in here,
Mm-hmm.
bringing the front of the garment down without doing short rows like this.
Well, I think that's a good point that you just made, that people don't realize that when
The
you do
benefit
a
of
bust
doing the
dart, you're
dart.
doing short rows.
Right.
And we all know that short rows give you a little extra fabric.
Right. So
they would complement your bust rather than...
yes.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I do regret for the record. I regret not putting in the darts.
There you go.
But I still love the piece.
I love the lace.
Doesn't it look like owls at the bottom?
Yeah.
So I have to say there were 2 techniques that I learned. I learned how to do a new bind off.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Which I loved. And there is a stitch in here that I've never... I don't know what it's called. It was a symbol on the chart.
Is that one up there?
It's this hole right in here to like all of these.
That. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Fun technique.
So it's like a little addition to that lace.
Yeah.
It's a little more dimension to it.
Unfortunately, it's on the mannequin, so I can't show it to you closely.
It almost looks like it's, and I don't know how she did it, but it almost looks like you did a slip over.
Or it looks like you're slipping a stitch with the yarn in front.
Correct.
But it's not done that way. What else can I tell you? It's knit from the top down.
What yarn did you use?
I used Rowan Cotton Glacé.
Oh, that's right here.
Which I loved for this piece. It's a cotton yarn. I really rarely knit in 100%
100% cotton. Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It blocked beautifully.
Yeah.
I did extend this. So out of the seven skeins, which is 700 grams, I had about 24 grams left.
Which is about half a skein.
Which is about half a skein. I did lengthen the sleeve just a bit. I think she said go to about 1 inch. I might have gone to 2 inches. And I certainly added length in the body. I didn't want it waist high.
You did, that's right.
Right.
So even with that, she was able to do it with 6.5 skeins.
Yes. And again, if you want to optimize your yardage and work, like, had I known, I felt like I was playing a little bit of yarn chicken. So the reason I'm saying that is 2 reasons. My colorway discontinued. I think I'm 3 for 3 on my on my test knits.
How color is like it's like a muted.
It's like a muted amethyst.
Correct.
I'll show you another yarn which I'm leaning towards, which is funny, very much in my wheelhouse. But so in my dye lot, I only had 7 skeins. I reordered the yarn because I could, which is already sold out before we went live with it. But what I would tell you is if you want to add a little bit of length, I probably would have also had enough yarn to do the darts. I would say do the sleeves, do the neckline, and then work your way downward after you divide, after you join in the round,
so that you can use stuff
right.
Done, right.
You can use the rest of your yarn until the end.
There you go.
Yeah, fabulous knit, Natasja Hornby. I publicized it over the weekend. She had a sale. I highly recommend that you sign up for her newsletter. Actually, both Caitlin Hunter and Natasja Hornby have newsletters, and you can learn about new pattern releases, get an early start on some promotions that they might have when they release a new pattern.
And of course, as Diana mentioned, she did a live on Friday, and we did sell some kits over the weekend.
Yes.
So everything that we posted is not available
unfortunately.
just yet.
I don't know if there are any other colors that I could redo, but we'll revisit that.
Right. So the colors, let's show you the colors that we know we have, right?
Yes. So we do have bleached, which is white. And again, white is lovely, crisp for the spring, summer. And certainly all light colors or all colors really will reflect in this pretty design.
Yeah. Because Dara and I were talking about that when we were looking at the colors we had. It reminds me of, remember the Natasja top you made? I don't know if it was, I think it was the year before last, 2 years ago, with the
Joni?
orange.
Yes, Joni.
Lovely. I mean, it
I'm
couldn't have been a brighter
that.
orange, right?
Love that top.
Lovely color. And especially in the summertime, you can wear that so easily. So we're going to show you the colors that we have. Dinah showed you white.
This colorway here is called Oyster. Again, it's Cotton Glacé by Rowan.
This is like a pearl gray. I don't know what the name is, but it's a pearl gray.
Yeah, I forget, Dawn or something. I think this one was called Precious. I don't recall. I'm starting to mix up the names.
This is a beautiful teal.
But it's purple.
Yeah, beautiful teal.
And this teal is like a true blue teal.
It's pretty, right?
When we went and did the Instagram live, the coloring was a little off, but it's really reflecting
the color that
the
it is.
color well.
I think this is pistachio. Right? Is that what
I think it's called crepe. I don't know why.
Well, to me, it's my pistachio.
It is.
And this is, I don't know what this is called.
Shell.
What's it called?
Shell.
Shell. Mm-hmm. It's a really soft pink.
Right.
And, I see back here what's hiding is
black. Classic black.
That
That would look stunning in black. Yeah.
The
One of
basic
these
color is
days I need
black and
black.
white. We keep saying that, right?
You know what? I keep saying that I need a black and a white top, and I never choose black or white to knit, which is really odd, but
Well, you know
maybe
what it
this will
is.
be my year.
It's the color.
I
You
like
always
to
like
knit in
to see
color.
the color.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. So
Do you like to knit in color?
Exactly. I was telling Dinah before, I said this winter I did a lot of browns and blacks and grays and beiges, and the advantage to that was everything went with everything.
You could really wear everything.
It was so, I'm not saying that you shouldn't knit other colors, of course.
I know.
But, you know, when you only have limited time and one pair of hands, you can only do so much, right? So for another year.
We were discussing color for the the Busan Tee, the next knit along, and I didn't know if I should go basic and I should go or if I should go for color, and we'll certainly share that with you in a moment. But you'll laugh when you see the color that I was leaning towards. Keep this one in mind.
There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes.
Okay, so we covered FOs.
Correct. I don't have any, but now we can talk about whips.
Yes, let's talk about whips.
I have.
Let's talk
go ahead.
about
I'll
whips,
show
baby. Let's
this
talk
whip
about
too,
yours
Dinah.
and mine. The
This
Alpine.
one first, the Alpine Bloom.
Okay.
The Alpine Bloom, as you know, because we've talked about it, is a knit along that Dinah and I are doing, a Zoom knit along, and our second, is it our second class or our last class?
third class
Our last
is
class
coming up.
is this week. And I have just about finished most of my color work. It is, I think I have 2.5 rows to finish, and then I will
Look
be.
at how insane this looks.
I will be splitting for the sleeves and working on the body, which is just, you know, straight knitting. So it's very pretty. Mine is a more muted colorway. You know, I used the color Inclinations. That was it, right?
Inkling.
Inclinations was my colorway.
Inkling.
Inkling? Inkling? Is that what it was, really? From Spin Cycle, and the other yarn was from Ruby and Roses. It was called, I don't remember.
Love Note.
Thank you, Diana. I was going to say, I knew it began with an L. And there you go. It's her rose base, I think it's called.
Soft rose.
Soft rose, and it's fingering weight. So there you go. Hopefully
Beautiful.
the next time you see it, the sleeves will be out and it'll look more like a sweater.
It looks very pretty, Pam.
So that's what I've been working on.
I was telling Pam that I don't have that much done.
Well, you
I
just
might
finished 2 test
Yes,
knits.
I might have gotten a row or two in.
Yep.
I'm finishing up the
flower.
flower officially, and this is my Alpine Bloom. I have a feeling that this will be a future languishing whip.
You know, you have to keep those languishing whips around.
I
in
have
some-
to, I have
some
to keep
form.
up with my list, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I won't have a languishing whip.
It's very pretty, though.
But
I don't know if
here
you can
it is.
tell from the picture, but the base that Dinah has that on, it's a very, very pale blue.
Yes,
Would you say it's a blue?
it is a pale blue. I want to say, gosh, I don't even know the color name. Do I have the label
What
here?
yarn was that, Dinah?
It's Pika Pika that I'm using,
Oh, that's right, the Pika Pika.
and
The Pika is a silk.
softness is the colorway.
Oh, yes. It's like a light
Softness,
maybe it's
yeah.
like lavendery.
That's
That's why I was asking. No, it is blue. Okay.
It's called Softness, and
It's
I'm
very soft.
using Pick Your Poison, and I actually took a colorway Overboard. I'm blending 2 different color spin cycles.
Are they both, Overboard and...
This here is my Pick, Your Poison,
right.
and this is Overboard.
Very pretty. So there you go.
And I have a hot mess in my bag because
That's okay.
I'm trying to manage
Who
my
doesn't
yarn.
have a hot mess in their bags, right?
And I have these pretty point protectors.
I will say I did start, Dinah and I were talking about this the other day. We had gone for a coffee and we were talking about the technique of stranded color work and how you use we use our right hand and our left hand, we throw and we pick. And I was saying I was halfway through the top and I realized, wait a second, I like to use my finger ring. And I'd been looking for it and I couldn't find it. I was going through everything and I couldn't find the finger ring. And that day I happened to look in a yarn bowl that I had sitting next to me, and lo and behold, there was my ring. So the second half I've done a lot of the with the ring.
Do you find that you're knitting faster with the finger ring?
I feel it's more comfortable because it's all picking. And
How are you holding the tension when you have it. Like, that was my struggle when I've used the finger ring. And I don't know if you all know what we're talking about, but it's basically a ring that rests on your forefinger. And it usually has a squiggle or a notch where each color can rest for your color work.
Right.
And therefore, both strands are feeding out of the left, and then you pick. There it is. Pam has the squiggle.
So I put it on my left index finger, like one side is wider. So like that, like it's on my finger, facing me that way. And the color, the hole that's closest to me carries what's going to be the dominant
color. Right. And when we refer to dominant color, it's the color that you want to basically pop in your knitting. So for example, in Pam's sweater, her dominant color is going to be the spin cycle. That's the color work that's happening. So she wants that to be dominant to really pop out. And believe it or not, there is a difference.
I'm going to bring in my Andrea Mowry knit, the cardigan that we did.
Remember
Throwback, because when I first started that, she has like one in one color work, you know, the main color and the color work. And I wasn't doing that on the first couple of rows, and I switched, and what a difference.
Right. So that's why I'm saying there is a very clear difference.
There is, yeah.
So you do want to be cognizant about when you're using the coloring that you keep the dominant color in the right position as opposed to your main color or the background color.
I found when I was doing it that the main color that was coming from here, when I was holding it, was kind of moving over that way towards the other color. It wasn't causing a problem, but sometimes I would just readjust it. But I'd seen a video about carrying, before I found my ring, carrying the two yarns off your finger, and that's difficult to maintain even tension. I think you have to get used to how you're holding it, but it's very easy. They tell you to put this finger in between the two strands, and then you just wrap it on your hand, and believe it or not, it keeps them separate. So what I started doing with this, when that would happen, I said, put your finger between the two on that. So if these are coming off the ring that way, I put this finger to separate it.
To kind of merge the two.
Correct. Now, is that perfect? No, it's not perfect.
No, but it's clever. I mean, it's...
I find the difference when you have this ring on, I think maybe the reason you find it is because the slack on the yarn is longer.
It's greater, and I like to control more.
Correct.
Yes.
And what happens is, but it's great. It's great for keeping
these yarns,
the floats not tight.
Oh, interesting.
Fabulous for keeping the floats not tight.
Interesting. So do you guys use a colorwork ring, or do you use, like, for example, I don't. So I use a two-handed colorwork technique where I go like this. I wrap my main color in my right hand, and then I have my dominant color in my left, and then I go to do my color work using my two different hands. So in this case, I'm throwing with my right, and I'm picking with my left.
Right, that's what I was doing. Now,
Pam is actually picking
with both.
I mean, so she wraps. I mean,
you have to wrap it a certain way.
You have to wrap it a certain way. Right. But basically, both yarns are on, and then she's picking.
Right. And the only thing you do is you just go over and pick it, you know. And then I also figured out, I didn't have to look it up, I'm so proud of myself, if I had to carry a color, how to do it off the ring carrying a color. So
interesting. Really?
So much easier.
So when she's talking about carrying, it's about catching your float on a span of more than 5 stitches.
We should carry some of these. We should get some in the shop.
Yeah. I have the color ring from Susan Bates, but it's not the same.
No, it's not. This was a Knit Picks, I think, or something like Knit Picks. I think I got it at a show.
We got it in Rhinebeck. You and I.
Is that where we got it?
Yes.
I mean, there are fancier ones you can get, right?
Yeah, but I lost my real jewelry one.
Did you really? Well, anyways.
Anyone knows a good company that, you might want to recommend a colorwork ring for me to carry, please.
Who's that other company that I'm thinking? That's Susan Bates. What's the other one that's like Susan Bates?
Knitter's Pride?
Knitter's Pride. I think that might be Knitter's Pride. Maybe this was Knitter's. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But, I mean, they're not expensive. Everything is relative. But this is the kind of thing that I can tell you now you probably need to have more than one of. That way you can always find one.
Right. Or have them in like your bags if you're using it.
So I will say I have enjoyed doing it. Again, it's just something different, And I do find that I don't have to be as mindful of the tension that I'm carrying.
Right. So what Pam is talking about right now, I am but I am wrapping my yarn. So I have to kind of spread my stitches out to make sure that when I get my float in the back, that it's not pulling my work.
Correct.
That's what she's referring to. So with the ring, she's saying that you're able to control more the long float that's going behind the work.
It's not going to, it's probably not going to be tight. Now listen, if you pull anything, it's going to be tight. So,
right.
If
you're saying that it's aiding
right.
in making a
Correct.
smoother knit.
So, listen, the more you use anything, the more comfortable you are with it, and the better you are at it. How often have I used it for color work? It's probably been a while since I've used it.
No, but you're more comfortable with it than, for example, myself. Right. I never go for it, and I'm much more comfortable with my hands.
Right.
Much more.
But again, you know what? It doesn't really make a difference as long as you like the way what you're doing, your technique. There are different techniques to accomplish the same thing in many things in knitting.
Right.
Whether you're talking about bind-offs
I love a tubular.
Correct.
Love a tubular.
But you always need a tubular?
No, but I often insert it even when I don't need it because I love it.
There you go. Right. That's it.
How about you? What do you guys do? Let us know.
There you go.
Insert your 2 cents worth.
That's right. That's what someone said to me. Where was I at school? Where was I? And someone said to me, was I at school? Where was I? And they said they started knitting. It had nothing to do with the shop, I don't think. And they said they started knitting, and maybe it was at church. It was at church. And she's talking about it, and I said, "Well, what cast on did you use?" And I could tell you what they used before they even tell me what they used. They did like a knit cast on,
or like that
over the loop, and that's why she's having a hard time knitting the first row because of that.
That is my least favorite cast on.
Oh, I know. I hate a knitted. Well, not for a beginning of a project, at least. Not for the beginning of a project. So anyway, that was at church. It was at church last week. That's how that came up.
And I think what Pam is referring to for the other cast on, when you go like this, you don't use a long tail cast on. You wrap it, and you go like this. 1.
That's what you do for an
2.
underarm.
The backward loop, but the backward loop cast on 100 stitches. For some reason, I always find that there's this gap.
Knitting the first row is difficult.
Right.
There's no substance to it,
right?
Which is what you would want at the beginning of a project, whether it's the bottom or the top,
right?
So anyway.
And if you like a knitted cast on,
God bless you. Keep doing it.
No, but explain to me why you prefer that cast on versus another, because clearly I'm missing something.
Well, no, it could just be something. Maybe that's the way they learned, and they've just always done it, and they're fast at it, and they're even at it. With any cast on, I always say to people,
the most inconsistent for me.
Well, right. Well, I always say to people when you're casting on, sit down and cast on 400 stitches. The thing you want with your cast on is you want it to be
even,
and the more you do
consistent.
It, you'll get into the way of doing it so that your stitches they're all even and they look good. They're the same size and tension and whatnot. But anyway, do you have any whips, Dinah?
Well, this is one whip. I guess I could show my.
Right.
I was hoping to be done.
Oh, I know she's going to show you. That's fine.
Next week. Yep. Like Pam said last time, the knitting police aren't going to come get me.
That's right.
Here's my Jethro.
Almost done.
Nearly done.
The knitting is done.
It's all knit, which is huge. Huge for me.
Can you give me part of it?
Thank you. It's got a lot of ends.
And she needs to do a block.
A heavy blocking. I need to sew on. Did you do buttonholes on yours?
No, I did not.
I put 5 buttonholes on mine. And heavy blocking, lots of ends, as you can see.
Not that many,
and
though.
A few seams. I still have like a few. Woo!
You're not going to keep that there.
No.
Lovely, Dinah.
But yeah, this was one of my languishing whips, which is nearing its end, and I'm going
soon to be an FO.
Yes,
soon to
rather
be an
grateful.
FO. There you go.
I used this is called Jethro. It's a combination of crochet and knitting. First, we had done the crocheted granny squares. This is a pattern designed by Tanis Lavallee. Tanis Fiber Arts as well. She had done it in beautiful shades of blues and greens. Pam and I
Turquoises,
we made a bunch of kits. Pam and I taught a class in it. We crocheted all the squares. We showed options to crochet the squares together, which is what Tanis recommends. And Pam and I also demonstrated how you could sew the squares together. We picked up stitches. We discussed how to lengthen your sleeve, lengthen the garment, and so forth.
Correct. And there you go.
Jethro. That's all I've got. Dedicating May.
Well, I've got one more, and staying in the same.
April to knitting for the baby.
Yeah, you have to do that. Yeah. You may be even knitting in May too.
Oh, I definitely will be, but I'm saying April is my month to knit
Dedicated for the baby.
Not to mention baby gifts for other people.
Of course.
I'm so behind in my knitting.
And staying in the same category as what Dinah just showed you, this is a languishing whip for me, which you've seen the past few weeks. It is almost done. It is, let me find the top and the bottom. This is the bottom. That's the bottom. Okay. So, unfortunately, it's on a needle, but you can see.
You're on a 16-inch?
Yeah, I'm on a short one, too. I don't know why. You know what? I can't even be bothered looking for my needle. I have no idea.
She's like, just get it done.
I know I made someone very nervous last week by not having point protectors on, but my ribbing on the bottom, as you can see, is done. Everything in the front is done, and I've begun the brioche button shawl collar.
Right. This is a design by
Natasja Hornby.
It's called Letho, Letho.
This was a class Dinah and I did about 3 years ago, and I know that because I just never finished it. But I love this detail in the front, and I have to I've done a decrease on the collar. Now I have to do short rows, which will give me the shawl, and then to add some length.
Right.
So
That's
happened
for the back of the neck.
Right. So it happened to me when I pulled this out again. I couldn't find any more yarn. I don't know what I did with it. Still don't know what I did with it. So I had to go online and order.
And thank God for
that. And the question was, how many did I need?
Oh, did you need what you ordered?
Well, I ordered 3. And I said, well, gee, maybe I don't need the 3rd. But I think this is going to be a lot of knitting for the collar. This is what I have left. I think I may be going into it. Do you think?
That's your last one?
No, I have one more after this, but I don't think this would take me to the end of the project. I may just go into it.
At least you're not going to lose sleep.
Correct.
So speaking of, on mine, you saw all the ends and the button bands.
Yeah.
I needed my last skein.
Did you have to get more?
2 rows.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? Don't laugh. The same thing happened with me on mine, I think.
For 2 rows. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, same thing happened to me.
And I'm thinking, okay, I could have shortened my bottom rib, but I didn't want to.
No, you don't want to sacrifice that. You can always use it for something else. But again, this is the back detail on the
so pretty,
which I hadn't shown.
This is such a fabulous
and you can see the ribbing down there. Again, it needs a good blocking, as you can see. So there you go. I'm anxious. I'll have it done for the warm weather.
You and me both.
So Dinah and I were just talking about it. My next one that I'm going to pick up is my Nila, which I can wear this summer. It's a design by Natasja, a summer top. Yeah, so I'm going to pick that up next. But I just told Dinah, I see what's in my future. If I look in a crystal ball, I'm probably going to have 5 summer tops cast on very shortly.
That's okay. 'Tis the season.
Exactly.
Summer tops at least go more quickly. I think if I didn't have my test, well, I did 2 summer tops.
You did. You have
I have the
them,
crop
sure.
and this one, but my Alpine Bloom suffered, and that's okay.
There you go.
I need to keep up my languishing webs.
Absolutely.
All right.
What's next, Dinah?
Let's talk about what we're wearing. We
Okay,
went
good.
a little backwards.
Okay. What are you wearing, Dinah?
So Pam and I are both wearing. This is the Silky Twist Raglan Tee, designed by Iris Schreier from Art Yarns. You could see I'm wearing colorway 773.
Which is a relatively new colorway.
This is the colorway that was developed when I went to visit the showroom.
Go ahead, go stand up.
My sister-in-law, Michelle, wanted a colorway that had grays and yellows.
I think you showed that. Didn't you show that?
Yes, we've shown the color. Yeah. But here it is in a top, which is super cute. Let me see if I could step back. I
here
have
you
it
go.
over a blouse. It's got a 3/4 sleeve with an option to do short sleeve and longer sleeve. We weighed this garment. This one took, so out of 2
I'll tell
skeins,
you,
which is 400 grams.
It took 200. Give me a second. 290. No. Yeah.
Yes, 295
295.
or 290.
It was 293, something like that.
Right.
293.
So close to 300 grams.
Each skein is a 200 gram skein.
Correct. So you have half a skein to add for width, length, or lengthening the sleeves.
So clearly, if she used 200, yeah, exactly. That's what you just said. Don't.
Let me go get the skein. So
If
can
you
see
have
what's
2
the-
skeins, you have 400 grams. So if that took 293, you can see you have over 100 grams left if you want to make it longer, which is what Dinah just said.
Right. So basically, the top that I'm wearing took 2 skeins. Half of 1 skein was left over.
Correct.
What can you do with half a skein? You can knit a hat,
Yeah.
a little cowl, a short cowl.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to go to waste.
Right.
Fabulous color. And I know when Iris worked this top, she took 1 skein, started with the yellow, started up here, and worked her way down in its entirety. She separated for the sleeves just about here, right where the yoke is, and over here.
She picked up that same color.
She wound the second skein and picked up, or maybe picked up for the neck and the neck in the yellow, and then worked her way down, made sure she had enough to work both sleeves to make them relatively the
Can I see
same.
it? Which is that sleeve? This one, yeah.
And then she used the darker portion of the skein to do the remainder.
And as you can see, like you see the sleeve here, it's got the more black in it. It doesn't have to be exact.
Oh no, it's
No.
just a vision
Right.
from top to bottom.
It's more just quickly that when you look at it, you see some yellow on this sleeve and some yellow on. But again, it doesn't even have to be that way. If
And
you
all
could even
it's
make it so that it's the yellow is lower on your sleeve if
Right.
you want to.
Right. And each skein is individually hand dyed.
Yep.
So no 2 skeins are exactly
No,
alike.
they're ever the same.
So
correct.
This was just a matter of the way her skein knit up, and that was the technique that she used for this particular piece.
Right.
Pam is wearing the exact same sweater.
Let me push my
Now
chair.
she'll stand up.
It's my turn to stand. And what colorway is this, Dinah?
And this is exciting. This is the new LYS Day color. And LYS Day is April 26th.
Correct.
And every year Iris develops a new color. And this here is the LYS Day color.
Yay.
LYS 2025 for this year.
Now, even though they're the same, how are they different?
So, Pam's wearing the same exact sweater. Her sleeves are longer,
Correct.
so you have enough. Pam and I weighed the sweater as well. Oh, by the way, I should say that in both of these garments, Pam and I are both wearing size 1. Believe it or
You
not.
can believe that.
Believe it or not. Thank you, Iris, for making us feel so good.
Mine is longer. We did measure from
Yes.
the armhole down. I believe mine is 3 or 3.5 inches longer than Dinah's
right.
is.
Mine is, and it's not cropped by any stretch or means. Like I could,
Go ahead, I'm just getting a measuring tape. Go ahead.
we could stand next to each other. It's just a little bit shorter. Look, I'm also shorter and short-waisted. Pam is longer-waisted. But
Oh, I'm not long-waisted. But I'm looking, I think my ribbing is longer than yours.
could be.
Yeah, yours
Yeah.
is 3.5 and mine's at least 4.5.
It's just interesting to see how with the same, you could tell this one is a little bit shorter.
Right.
The 3/4 sleeves gives it a different design element.
But what's
both
interesting is she's wearing a shirt underneath hers.
right.
I am
and
not
Pam
wearing
is
a
not
shirt
wearing
under mine.
Right.
But talk about the yarn
So
manipulation.
yes, so in this particular skein, or I should say not skein, in this particular sweater, what Iris did is she took 2 skeins, wound them up, and she kind of married the 2 skeins. So she started with the blue on the top, worked her way down, and then she started to blend the second skein again
It looks
after
like
working the
a little
neckline.
bit, maybe over there, and then she split.
Right. So she merged. So now you're blue heavy up on top, And she went, as the colors changed, she merged the colors. And then she went into the lighter for the bottom. So she started with the intense color up at the top and ended light at the bottom.
So as you can see in this particular sweater, the cream or the lighter color, and again, just keep in mind every skein will be different, but the lighter color that you see is she put at the bottom of the sleeves, or you could put it at the bottom of the sweater, depending however you want to do it.
Now, how do you merge two skeins? You can do helical knitting to elongate the color bandwidth without having to end a skein, rejoin a skein. That's one technique. Here, this was knit one skein it's in its entirety, and the second skein was used for the sleeves and the neckline.
Right, and you can see
you can do your choice
here, similar but not exact. And
I mean, you can't, right?
It's not going to be. So if you're expecting it to be, like, if that's the way you like it, this may not be something that you want to do.
Correct.
Just keep in mind. Also, when we weighed this sweater, this was 335 grams, which was about 42 grams more than what was used in Dinah's sweater, even though it's the same size. And why is that? The sleeves are a little longer and the length is a little longer. Right. But still, 335 grams, you have 65 grams left over, which is about a third of a skein, give or take. You know, so
significant amount.
An option can, and this can be done with. This happens to be the LYS colorway, but you could do it for any colorway.
Right. So now a lot of you have asked. You know, we do have the 2 skein option for the poncho.
Oh yeah.
Yet not every color is featured as a poncho, so you can buy 2 Silky Twist
just by 2
hoodies.
Yeah, it'd be impossible for us to kit up every color,
right?
So you could just use, if you, like Dina said, if you have it earmarked for the poncho, but you say, gee, I'll make this now.
Right. If we're gonna, so this is going to show up as the thumbnail under the Silky Twist hoodie. But if you want to do a poncho or a sweater, the raglan, just buy 2 of them, 2 under the hoodies.
Are we going to kit this? 2 skeins. I mean, it would be like,
it's like kitting the poncho.
You know what you should do?
Maybe change
You should take the header for the poncho and say
Raglan
this / poncho, and just do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Right.
Now, I don't know how many sizes. Do you know how many sizes Iris has in this? And how do you get the pattern? I guess
the pattern is free. So now let me explain, because everyone emails me. They don't know how to get the pattern. At the back, I don't want to go too close because there's a special code, but let's see if I can go like that. In the back of the label, under the care instructions, she has her website, and it says free patterns, artyarns.com/patterns/STCH/. And then once you enter her website, you look up patterns and then you search for the pattern, and there's a coupon code, and you're going to type in the coupon code that comes up here
on the label.
That's on the label, and you're going to get access to the hoodie, to the poncho,
to all the patterns,
to the raglan, which is phenomenal. I mean, it's great, very generous. So that's how you access it from the label.
You go to her website, whatever it is, and then you put in the coupon code that's on the yarn band, and the patterns will come up.
Now, Pam had just asked me about the sizing on the raglan.
How many sizes she has.
So,
now I said to Dinah, I don't know if I made this, if I would make it more stitches. I think the length was fine if I wanted not to wear it with anything underneath. But I don't know if I would. I'd have to look at the sizes and see.
So it's funny because both Pam and I had the same reaction. We would never knit the size 1.
I said, that's not going to fit me.
But we're both wearing the size 1, and it feels comfortable.
It does feel comfortable.
I'm not in my comfort zone
top.
Wearing a size 1 mentally, so I might knit a size 2. But again, I love the way this fits me right now.
And remember, everything is related to gauge. It's all 100%. Gauge. I mean, if you do the size and your gauge is too tight, of course it's not going to fit. So that's always recommended. You can try it on as you go, especially if it's top down, to see where the length is for you.
Right.
So.
Okay. So your sizes. Size 1, 34 inches. Size 8, 52 inches. So there's quite a bit of range.
No, I am not a 30. Now, what did she say?
Excuse me, I said 34. It's 34 inches. I don't know that this is, I mean, look.
That's not the finished size.
there's this is fitted in my
take
bust.
it off and measure it.
We should.
You talk. I'm going to take it off and measure.
I'm going to take mine off too because I'm a little hot right now.
I'm not. Well, you've got something under there. Yeah. I'm going to take it off. I do have something under here too, but not as heavy as what you have.
Okay.
You're cool now.
I wouldn't say I'm cool, but I feel
I'm going to
better.
have to make one of these right away, Diane.
This is fabulous. Just
Colors.
fabulous. I mean, how insane. Love, Iris. This is fabulous.
Okay, I'm measuring mine, laying it flat.
Pam is measuring.
These colors are great. I might even make this colorway. Believe it or not, I hate to say it, it's coming, if I lay it flat, it's 34
It's
inches.
exactly 34
but I am
inch.
a 40-inch bust.
So what we're trying to tell you is that it's fitted. We're wearing it with a negative ease.
You see,
not
there's stretch
positive
to
ease.
it
Yes.
because it's knit loosely.
Right.
What size needle, Dinah, if I might
Size
ask?
9.
There you go. How
And-
fast is that going to go?
It goes pretty
I
fast.
may have to knit one of these then.
I did cast one on.
You did? What colorway?
Should I show you? When Pam comes back.
This colorway, Dinah? I don't know. This is a lovely colorway. This would go
The
lovely.
gauge for the garment is 3.5 stitches to 4 inches.
But I think when you stretch it, it opens up. Clearly, it opens up. Otherwise, you
It's
wouldn't.
fabulous.
Otherwise, it wouldn't fit me.
That's a good color for you, Pam.
You do.
The LYS Day color.
There can't be a lot of cream in it, though, Dinah.
Let me go get my top.
So I don't. Which? See, Dinah's holding out on us. She has another cast on. She has another whip, but she's holding out on us, and I didn't even know about it.
I'm ashamed.
Is that why you didn't show it? Oh, that's so silly. You can never have too many whips, Dinah. You can have too many languishing whips, but not too many whips, I don't think. Let me guess what colorway. Is it a colorway that I know?
You will never guess the colorway.
But is it one that I'm aware of?
You've seen it in the shop.
I know which it is. I'm going to tell you. It's one of the pink ones. It's like the pink red or the pink pink, one of those.
No.
I can't wait
I
to
went
see
out
this.
of my comfort zone.
Well, what's your comfort zone?
Definitely not blue.
Oh, that's the one. That's the
This
colorway.
is not pink.
Well, what color? But that's this one. That's this one.
It isn't.
It's. I see. That would be too cream for me to do that.
It's
What's
not.
the difference? Do you have one
This
that's
has chocolate brown.
Do you have one that's not
and
wound?
turquoise.
One of those that's not wound on the table? I'm going to get it.
This is color 752. I don't know. That's what I'm giving you. 7521. It's turquoise cream. It's got peach.
Is that turquoise?
Yeah, I would call it a turquoise. I'm literally at the very beginning.
Oh, this is it.
You found it? Yes. Very different.
Different, but not different.
Oh, come on. It's different than this.
This is Dinah's colorway.
So this is the LYS Day color.
Yeah, this has got too much cream in it for me.
Right. This is so you.
It is. But there
And
are
I
so
also
many great colors.
I also started with the lighter color on top.
That's nice. I like
yes,
that.
as
I like
opposed
that.
to doing the inverse, the darker color.
If
on
I
top.
did the cream, I would do that. If I had cream in it, I would do that. A lot of cream in it. But maybe, would you do that with this? You could start with that on. I think it looks nice.
I like it with the blue on top in that one. So, look at your colorway. So interesting.
There are so many
I'm
colors
at the
that you
point
could
where
do, though, Dinah.
I need to decide if I want to just continue with one. See, I wound up the second one.
Well, how much more do you have to go before the split?
I still have a ways to go. So
I
I think I'm going to do the helical knitting, finish my yoke, and then make sure I leave enough yarn for
When you say
the-
helical, you're going to do this with this.
Yes.
And then,
I might actually pick up my neck first.
correct, I
Yeah.
would do that too. Yeah.
Get that out of the way, and then I'll do my helical and work my way down. And that's it. Maybe what I should have done is done the helical straight from the top. Like leave a little bit of yarn.
No, see, I disagree with that because I think
Then I wouldn't have yarn to do the
because
neckline.
I think, like on mine, if I stand back here a little bit, I don't know if this is what Iris did, but I think at some point over here, she started blending. It looks like she did a little
Yeah.
bit, and then came because you don't want any dark color coming across your bust. You don't want any banding.
It's a perfect merge. Mm-hmm. It's a perfect merge.
Anyway, So there you go.
Now that we've been talking about Silky Twist, I do want to show some of the colors that we just got in.
Oh, you have them here. No wonder. That's lovely, too.
This is a brand new color for us. This is colorway 736.
It's like a lighter version.
Gorgeous. This reminds me of your cardigan. It's like
It does,
the beach.
yeah.
It's just got beach vibes. It's
Beiges,
just
light
so
blues.
pretty. Can you imagine that over white jeans?
That would be lovely.
Back by popular demand, Sierra Bloom. This we can't keep in the shop.
This would probably be easier to do in this top because it seems like more blended colors throughout. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, you're right.
You have to wind up the ball and see what you get. Oh,
This color here is basically like,
it's like the one.
yes.
It's like this.
Thank you, Pam.
It's like this, only in pink.
Right.
You can have pink. That's even nice too. If you're
Stunning.
if you're a pink person,
Back
this
in
is for
stock.
you for sure. Lovely.
Can't keep these neon colors in.
Lovely.
Speaking of neon sky, so good.
Again, a more overall mix, I think, on
But
this one.
fabulous for a t-shirt.
Fabulous, yeah.
7H45, back in stock.
That's pretty too. Soft,
Lovely.
very soft.
Transitions. This
Love
colorway.
this one.
Cannot keep it
Could
in.
do that one, too.
So this one has more of an overall vibe as opposed to an ombre.
But certainly the speckle.
I have to show you Maria's poncho. It's gorgeous.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I don't think
See,
she was
I would
done
think the
with it.
speckle would be at one end of it, right, Dinah? This has got to be at one end of it.
No, it's
No?
no. It's interesting how it knits up. You
It's
wouldn't
gorgeous.
picture
Look
it.
at the colors that are in there.
Let's see. Hopefully, she won't mind me sharing this picture,
I'm sure she doesn't mind.
just in case.
It's beautiful. Let me see.
Transitions.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that
Let me
fabulous?
see that. Not at all what I expected.
No,
Not at all what I expected.
gorgeous. That's the
Interesting.
poncho that she's just finishing up.
Wow, that's pretty. And
gorgeous?
that's 2 skeins? Or did
Yes.
she go to a 3rd skein?
Too. This is the poncho, you guys.
That's full.
The poncho is amazing. Okay,
You know what would be gorgeous is the color I made Patrice's cowl in.
that's coming in this week.
That would be very pretty in the sweater.
75.25.
Yeah,
Drop dead.
yeah.
So, speaking of sister-in-laws, this one was the colorway that went to Heidi. It's back in stock, 732.
That's pretty.
And again, this is the 773
773, right?
that
Yeah.
Michelle is getting. My mom just finished it. She's going to
Yeah.
give it to
Oh,
me
She got that done fast.
to bind off. Yes, well, you know,
What is that color that I'm looking at over there?
a brand new one.
Oh,
for the
I
shop.
like that one.
There are too many colors.
I may have to do this one now.
This color
That
is
is
already
very-
sold out,
that is-
but it's coming in. 75.27.
Look at that. Now, this
Gorgeous.
is navy.
Gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
With teal
Oh,
and
I
co-
love
like a
that
light
cocoa.
copper.
Like a cocoa color in there and teal.
Stunning.
I might have to do this one, Dinah.
So, you can't say there aren't enough options. In
That is
Silky Twist.
beautiful. That is very... This might be a good poncho, too. This would be a great poncho.
Yes.
A
I
great
think for a
poncho.
t-shirt, I mean, look, the dark colors are wonderful, but I think because we're headed into spring, I'm thinking more light palette, but poncho.
Let's talk about that for a second, too. You know, if you want to wear it this summer, maybe you want to do shorter sleeves.
Oh, that's what I'm doing, by the way.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I
Definitely.
wouldn't wear this in the summertime because, well, you could. Don't say that. You know, it depends where you are.
I might make mine a 3/4. I do like
That's
the way
what
that
I
fits.
like. This.
No, like the one that I
like
had
a
on.
longer sleeve like this. Or you're talking like this.
I like the
this, you're
3/4
talking-
because that one.
That's you could do that.
Yeah, I think I might do my pink one.
could
I do
definitely
have
do
another
that.
color round.
Or you can make it short sleeves, and then when it's September, take out the bind off and add sleeves,
Add the
to it.
sleeves. And then rip them out.
No, I don't think I would ever have the patience to do that. I would just make another one.
Can you imagine?
Love. What number is this?
75.27.
Is this on the website?
No, but hopefully before we leave, we'll photograph the new colors and add them.
Okay, there you go. Oh, that's very exciting. So you've just added something to my queue, Dinah. I'm going to have to start
Stay
that
here
soon.
longer.
I'm going to have to start that soon. You know that.
Stay here long enough, and your queue will just keep growing.
There you go. Great, great colors. So keep in mind, as Dinah mentioned, LYS Day is April 26th. So we looked that up so we knew, because of course we knew it was in April. We also found out that April 22nd is Earth Day.
And in spirit of Earth Day, we're going to host a new knit-along.
Yes, we are. We decided that would be the start date for a new knit-along. And we are doing an oldie but goodie. It must be one of the most popular patterns on Ravelry because it's always up there. And what would you want to tell them what it is, Dinah?
The ranunculus.
Why the ranunculus, you might ask. Tell them why, Dinah.
You tell them.
The ranunculus is a pattern that, again, if you haven't made one, you may have made more than one. I don't know how many Dinah made. Dinah made at least two or three.
Two.
Did you make two?
Two.
Yeah, two.
And I would make a third.
The reason being, it's a very versatile piece. It can be worn many different ways. It can be made with virtually any yarn, from a fingering to a chunkier yarn. But in making the pattern, there are oftentimes many questions that people have about the stitches. The whole thing in the ranunculus, it starts from the top, and it's, again, a texture, so it's right in fashion for now. There are many different stitches. It's like a fun knit because every round or every few rounds is another stitch. You're doing something different. There have also been issues with reading the pattern. I know I've had issues with it in the past because, I'm not always reading it the way it was meant to be read. Maybe that's just me personally. I know customers have had issues as well.
Yes.
So we thought...
This here is the ranunculus. This is the long sleeve version, but what we're planning on doing is teaching this version, the short sleeve.
Right. And Dinah and I can bring in the ones, you've seen us wearing them on the podcast. We've used Tanisja tweed, which is a silk one, which we have coming in. It's ordered, it's coming in. I can show you a scanner too of the
for
Tanisja
long
tweed.
sleeve.
Yeah. So anyway, we will be hosting that at the end of April.
And here's a short sleeve.
I might do this color this time. I don't know.
As you can see, it's rather sheer. You could see her waist through the sheerness of her blouse. That is knit on basically it's a fingering weight yarn knit on a very large needle, which is almost like exploded lace, let's say. I've done two versions. I've done one with a fingering weight on a large needle, and I've done one with a heavy worsted weight, and it gives me more of an opaque fabric, more like the initial pieces that I showed you in the beginning.
This is the Tanisja tweed.
Like that.
Just to give you an idea, it's a silk yarn. It's about 270 grams, 275 yards. Tanisja silk. And it's very thin, but it's knit on a big needle. So mine is in this color. Yours is in this colorway, right? Is yours more coppery?
I think it's more coppery.
This is mine. It's a navy. It's a blue. And it's got some of the speckles in it, but I wear mine over a denim dress. So it's very lightweight. And it just adds another layer to it. You have a little more copper in yours.
Yes,
you've got that
the teal, like a patina to it.
Patina color to it. Anyway, so we thought that it would be a great knit-along to host because certainly you could use it for many different things, and it would certainly answer some questions that people have had about them.
Yeah, I think part of the problem with ranunculus is some people have bought the pattern or downloaded it, and then once they've read it, they found it too daunting.
Right. Right.
So we thought it would be a great piece to do a knit-along on. Correct. There's the technique of the tubular cast-on, all the lacy textured stitches that happen in the yoke, again, the armhole division, and so forth.
And it can honestly be knit in any yarn. Right?
They knit it in, I've seen it in fingering and mohair and a chunky.
Again, the best thing is to go on to Ravelry. Look at there are thousands of projects.
I was just going to say how many projects are
What
there.
I would do is if you're interested, say for instance you want to do the Tanisja silk, search Tanisja silk under yarn ideas for the pattern and you'll see everything that comes up or whatever your yarn might be.
27.8 thousand projects.
Yeah.
I mean, how insane is that?
Yeah.
Nearly 28,000 people have knit this.
What's a yarn? You want to put Tanisja silk in? What's
sure.
Another one we
so
can
Tanisja is this yarn here.
Search.
And we could tell you that it's been used close to 300 times. Remarkable.
So there you go. You could search any yarn and see what comes up. So that's what I think we're going to do it in, did we say, because really once you get through the yoke, that's the whole top. I mean, there's not much else that you have to know.
I just randomly said Tosh DK just because it's not a fingering weight.
How many?
It's been used 20 times.
Right, you could use anything. I wonder if this is, well, that wouldn't be used because
That's
it's
brand
a new
new.
yarn. Use Lino. Look up Lino.
Lino? Mm-hmm. Lino was a yarn by Lang, a linen yarn.
Discontinued.
Yeah.
It's not there?
It is. 14 times the version from BC Garn.
48 times, yeah. Yeah, so
It's crazy.
You could, keep it in mind. You may have it in your queue. You may already have the yarn for it. And if you don't have anything specifically put aside for it, I'm sure in your stash you might have something that you could use because, like you said, you could use any yarn. Did we use 2 skeins of this to make it?
Yes.
It was 2 skeins. So there you go. And that's it. So that's our knit-along news.
Yes, we're going to start that on Earth Day, April 22nd. We haven't published it yet, but it will be published.
And two other things we have to share with them, yes?
We have the Busan Tee.
And then new in shop.
Yes.
So the Busan Tee, I believe we shared with you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We shared this with you the last time. It's our knit-along that's starting April 8th. Some people requested cables, so we thought we would keep it simple with anyone who hasn't done a cable, an introduction. It's by, I'm not even going to try to say the name.
Aegyo.
Aegyo, Aegyo. Knit. You'll find it on, no, you can't find, you'll find it on Ravelry, but it will redirect you to her website where you can get the pattern. It's a top-down knit. It has short rows in various places, not where you might expect them. It's done a little bit differently. And it's got a great, I don't know if you can see up close, that great raglan stitch that it has. So it's a really, really fun piece. Dina and I have shown you kits that we've made out of lino from Tanis Garn, which is the cotton linen viscose blend. Is that right? Cotton linen viscose? That's right?
Yes.
And
Creative Linen by Rowan.
Yes, Creative Linen by Rowan. We showed that.
Which is a cotton linen blend.
And now we have
100% linen.
There you go. So we're going to show you that. We've just added to the kits. White.
Modern linen.
Our kits are 5 skeins.
Yeah, so it includes 5 skeins, which has how much yardage?
Here.
Our 5 skeins.
We can do the circumference. Well, I'm not sure, but I know we were looking at the 115 cms, which is about 46, 1365, the third size. Where is this now? The third size. This would be up here, Dinah. So it would be this 6 times 190,000. Yeah, so you could go larger. Do this 7. Do 7.
Well, no, that's in, let me do meters. 250 times. We said our kits include 5 skeins, which is going to give you 1,250 meters. And if you went to the yardage that the pattern is recommending for the yarn that they used, it's 1,050 yards.
Could they do the next size?
No, I don't believe so, because that's 7 times
175.
Yep.
And what did you come up with when you did it? Yeah, you could. Oh, that's right. We talked about this the other day. You could go, the next 2 sizes use the same amount of yarn, but the largest size of those 2 sizes is like 4.9 skeins, and you would have 5 skeins. So if you wanted to make it a little longer, you'd have to keep that in mind. But
actually, with this option, because this has 273 yards, you can go up to the finished size
52
of 52 inches.
Right.
However, keep in mind that you can't add length, because on the 5th size, you are definitely going to go to the end of the skein.
Correct. So if you're making that 5th size and you wanted it longer than what the pattern says, you would need to get an extra skein. Right. But that's very generous. The sizes are about 41, 44, 46.
52.
No. Not 52. That's about 48, 48, and then 52. 52. I don't know if it's 52. Yeah, 52, yeah. So anyway, look at your yardage. So as we said, ours is skeins,
Right.
kitted with 5 skeins.
Right. So with modern linen, you have more flexibility to do a size range,
Right.
due to the amount of yardage in the skein.
Right.
These are 100% linen. There's the white. This is the colorway. I think it's called Truffle.
Yeah, gorgeous.
This one is called Apple Wine.
Yeah, I think so. Yep, pretty.
This one I know for sure was called Greyhound.
A lighter gray, not a deep gray.
This one was Mossy Bank.
Like this one. I would do this one, but that's the color of my Neela. Pretty green.
Forget what this was called. Do you recall?
No. It's a medium pink, but I don't remember what it's called. It's pretty though, right?
I think this one was called Terracotta.
Yeah, I think so. Right in my wheelhouse, as you know.
And then there's Amethyst, which is right in my wheelhouse.
There you go.
Can you tell that that was the color I'm considering? Look at the model on the sample that's on the mannequin. Is this spring something?
It's like a medium blue.
I'm trying to see if I can find the
names.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I don't know them by heart.
But they're
Last
up there.
but not least, we have this natural colorway.
It's like a wheat color. So there are plenty of colors if you wanted to do it. And again, it's 100% linen. So when we say 100% linen, I'm looking
can't
for one.
find the
Yeah,
names.
this is the one. Here, you've got, tell them about knitting with linen, Dinah. You had a conversation with someone about it?
So when you knit with linen, almost like cotton, it doesn't have any elasticity.
Correct.
Doesn't have any give. Linen has a beautiful property that the more you wash it and wear it, the softer it gets. It's lovely. Cotton and linen are both lovely for the spring and summer because it's a breathable fiber.
Natural fiber, yeah.
Yep. This here is the linen knit alone, not with anything through it, like not paired with anything. And this is basically how it would look.
It's not bad.
It's slightly sheer. I think if you were wearing a stark, I guess, camisole or a bra that was underneath, you might see the difference between the the undergarment or underlayer. If you went with something nude, maybe you wouldn't.
Can't even see it.
You can't see it. So I think I'm pretty comfortable with this.
Yeah.
As far as it being something that looks like it's a little sheer, but I don't think I would find it too revealing, so to speak. I have red nail polish on, and if you look closely, I don't think you could really.
Well, the information
Really see
on
it.
this yarn is it's about 273 yards. It is 19 to 20 stitches to 4 inches using, they say, a 5 or a 6. We knit that up on a 7. And
We got gauge.
we got gauge on a 7. So that's really it. They even give you a
It's
crochet gauge on it.
It is stranded. So sometimes when you're wrapping yarn like this, depending on how you
It
wrap the
might
yarn,
split.
if you wrap your yarn counterclockwise or against the grain of the way it was twisted, you might find that the yarns are untwisting. If you think of a cabled wire and they just come apart, you have to be cognizant not to enter your needle through the split layers of the yarn. You want to make sure that you get underneath the entire strand. That's just a little pro tip. Pam and I didn't have any trouble here.
What I always say to people when they tell me the yarn splits, I said every yarn splits. I mean, some more than others, of course.
Yeah, definitely
but,
can.
Average, unless it's something that's
Just
really
how you
annoying.
get into the stitch.
Exactly.
You want to make
and
sure
how
you
pointy
get
your
into
needles are, too.
a clean sweep.
Anyway, so we're excited about this yarn. We really are, because it's the season for it.
Yes, and unfortunately, some of the linen that we've had in the past has been discontinued. So it was
Correct.
nice
To
to
find
get
something.
100% linen yarn.
And it is a new...
I think it's a new yarn for
a
Barocco
new product
as well.
for Barocco, exactly. So there you go.
I know it's been doing well because some of their colors are already sold out.
Listen, let's talk for a second. What did we use lino for?
Oh, that was the, whatchamacallit.
What's that called? It's behind us. It was behind us. It is behind us.
It's the one with the...
What is that called? Having a mental... I can't remember the name of that project. Another very popular project.
How many of those did we sell?
I know. I can't think of the name. I'm going to look it up right now.
I feel like we made that popular.
It's on my... it's on my project page. So let me tell you right now what it is.
I am so embarrassed that I don't know the name of it.
You're going to remember
I think I blocked it out subconsciously. You're going to remember it just as I get to it. But my whole point is you could use this to make that as well. No? Totally.
Projects. Here we go. We're going to kick ourselves when we see the name of this thing.
I'm not even trying to use my brain cells. I'm just waiting for you to come up with it.
This is how long ago I made it. It's here. There it is. Deshane.
Deshane. Of course. Deshane.
Deshane. Here it is. Here I am wearing it. Let's just go in on that.
Do you remember we wore that to the show and how everybody complimented
Look
us?
at that. We made that out of lino, and lino is a discontinued yarn, but you could make this out of it.
And it would be fabulous.
That's another class. We could do one class on the Deshane and do it the way with the mods that we made for it. Don't you think so?
We could.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a fun top.
Fun,
so many
easy
people.
top. Fun, easy,
and attractive.
Top.
It's a great layering piece.
Yeah. In the summertime, as you could see, I was wearing it over.
You were wearing it a dress.
Over a linen dress. There I was.
I've worn it over a white button shirt, a tank top, T-shirt, anything.
And you would never guess that the finished circumference on this is almost 60 inches.
Which is crazy.
I mean, you would never see that. It's just the way it drapes on you.
This is a tape measure.
Right.
60 inches. Let me just show you the circumference.
That's when I had a blonde streak in my hair. Should I go back to that?
I don't remember you having blonde.
Look. You don't remember that, do you?
No. This is 60 inches. Okay? And it just...
You would never know it.
Drapes.
You would never know
lovely.
it. If you want to see the Deshane, go to my project page, scroll down. It's down a ways, but it's there. Deschain, Deshane. And again, because lino was discontinued, this would be modern...
a great alternative.
Linen would be a great alternative to that. Don't you think?
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Oh, we have something else still.
We do. We have the DRK Everyday Cardigan designed by...
Not even what I was going for.
Oh, really? That's so funny. Designed by Andrea Mowry. We had put this yarn on sale. It's 30% off. Tremendous savings. Tremendous. We hardly have any to show. There are a couple left in the actual kitted size that we made.
The bag does not come with the kit.
Right. These are the Della Q mesh bags that are also available. You can find them on the website.
Yeah.
They've been very popular since we featured them in here. But our kits included 9 skeins. Do you have the pattern?
What am I looking for? What pattern?
The DRK Everyday.
I'll find it.
Is that it?
Give me a second. Give me 1 minute. I'll find it. Yes, it's... No, that's not it, is it?
Yeah.
Is that it? Mm-hmm. There you go.
Thank you. Here it is. Classic raglan cardigan. Clearly an everyday piece. Fabulous. Mm-hmm. It was done in a marled type yarn. Mm-hmm. And this yarn happens to be marled. It's Versus. And the reason we were able to put it on sale for Spin Cycle is because the yarn is discontinued. I think it was very well received. We sold out of a lot of colorways quickly.
But what's left is still... I can't imagine that this colorway didn't sell out.
This is a great one, too. This one is called Beets and Bears. It's actually gray and green.
This one is called Sweet and Sour. It's like beige with a neon yellow or yellowy
Gorgeous. Color. But you can kind of get the vibe from far away, even though it's marled.
You're not going to see it.
You're not going to see it that marled.
This one is a black, and it's called Dark and Stormy.
Right. Now, Dark and Stormy, we only have 7 skeins left, so that's going to make a smaller size. And what I'll do is on the website, you'll know the range, that if it's a smaller kit, you'll see the price range.
The price
and
range
then
will
you'll
be
see,
different. Yeah, this one is the 9 skein, I believe. No? 3... Yeah, this is 8. Is it 9? No, there
9.
it is. There's 9 in there. This is 9.
This is another way, another colorway. This one is called Tea and Shade, It almost looks like an apple green, like a sour green apple. Love it. But if you look closely, it's got the gray with that beautiful green.
This is also similar. It's called Sugar and Spice. It's an orange with the gray, or I like to call it like a melon, like a cantaloupe melon mixed with the gray as well. This is 9 skeins, so you could make that
the sizing that
size.
Right. This one also has 9 skeins. This one is different than the one that Pam showed. Pam showed you one that has melon. This colorway here is cinder and smoke.
So here's the difference between the
And
two.
if you look, yeah, one is more cantaloupe and one is more orange.
Right. So the only one that's not a 9 skein kit is the Dark and Stormy one.
But I think we had other ones.
I don't know. That's
We're going to put there
You'll
might
see it
be
on the
some
website,
other
yeah.
options,
Yeah.
and you can always look at Versa's online and see if you want to. You might have some in your stash and you want to accumulate more to do.
It is a discounted yarn, so you
Right.
might have something that you could use it for.
Right. I know that the yarn has been selling well because it is on sale, and people have just been accumulating skeins even to do other projects. It's been used in the shift as a single skein, hats.
Well, in the Della
Different.
bag, I have to say, when Dinah and I were talking about this, we were like, is that the right price for this bag? Because I think it retails for $25.
24, 25.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, and it has, did it have something in it that you would
It's got a wristlet so you can hold it. It's got 4 pouches on the inside. There's a zippered pocket.
It's a
And
gusset
it's got
snap.
gusset snaps, and it would
was
be
something-
fabulous for color work because all of these snap bags, the O snap or this Della pouch, when you're doing color work and you have yarns, like 2 yarns, 2 different colors, you can actually separate them through
would be
the,
good for your
instead of
Alpine
grommets, right,
It would be
between the
good
snaps.
For your raglan that I'm wearing, if you were working at a 2 skeins,
That's true too.
right?
And I would just say that if you are going to use it as a bag like that, note to oneself, I would wind the yarn, make sure it's in a cake,
Yeah.
and rather than pulling from the outside of the cake, I would highly recommend pulling from the inside. When you pull from the inside, the cake stays put, and then the yarn just feeds out. If you pull from the outside, the skein could shift and bounce around in the bag, and that could be annoying.
Good. Last thing, Dinah.
Okay.
Last
One
thing.
more thing. Sorry, this is a long one today. We have a new product in the shop. These are the redesigned leather bags that come from, I want to say Denmark.
I think so.
And it's the redesigned project bag. I first encountered these bags when I was in Europe. I went to the H&H show in Cologne, and I stumbled upon the booth, and I just fell in love. I was smitten. I was reluctant to order the first time the bags launched because of the price point.
I don't think they're that expensive.
I'm telling you, that was me
At the time.
at the time.
Right.
And we have the bags, the Mood collection, which is here, where you have the DOP kit. We have some other products by Mood. And, I think that
That's what you had. You were coming from that perspective.
I was
maybe,
coming
when
from
you
that
saw it.
perspective, and I also didn't want to necessarily compete. But the truth of the matter is, each bag offers something different. Different makers. I'm obsessed. Pam was kind enough to gift me one of these bags, and I was just
You
sold.
see, for me, I
Sold.
see what you're saying, but I just think this, like one design, when I saw this design, I said, that's fabulous.
It's
I just
unique.
love the way it
It's
opens. I
really
think it's
unique.
fabulous.
Yeah.
So show them on. This one is in the black colorway. It also comes in beige colorways like
Can I
walnut.
get mine from the table?
Oh, is yours over there?
Yeah. So this is called Project Number 9. Project Number 9 is, as you can see,
I love this
it's a
colorway.
square pouch,
That's this way.
and it's got the zipper on a diagonal.
This is Dinah's.
And what's brilliant, when I say brilliant, I
It
mean
really
brilliant
is.
about this bag, you open it up.
Go ahead.
This one's a little bit messy inside, but you open it
Very
up.
realistic. They can see what you have in it.
The bag opens up,
Look how
And it's
they
like a
can't
fortune
appreciate
cookie.
that it's like, yeah, exactly.
and it's got these gussets of fabric so
Yeah.
that nothing falls out.
Yeah.
And basically, you have the inside
And what's on the
with
inside?
2 compartments. On one side, you have this wonderful, what is it, elastic stitched
Sturdy elastic.
compartment where you can actually fit in your needles. I don't have spare needles
So, for
to put
instance,
in.
I'll give you a for instance. In my Letho, how many needles did that thing take? It took
Right.
like 3 different needles. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll have them in my project bag, and they always end up going somewhere. So you have a specific place where you can, if you're
Oh,
not
here.
using that needle, you can.
You basically can put in your spare needles, just like so.
I mean, she has a shorter one there.
Right. This happens to be a shorter
But if
needle,
it was a
but
longer one, you could go across the.
you'd go across.
Right.
So, for example, what Pam is referring to, let's say you're working a top down, even the Alpine Bloom. You have a size 2 for the neck and the cuffs. You have a 4 for the yoke, which might be 16 or 24 inches, and then you need a 32-inch needle. You put all your spares right in here,
It's right in
and
there,
it's so
yeah.
convenient.
Yeah.
You have 2 sides, 2 compartments, so if you're doing color work, you can keep one on each side, or you could just keep your stash, all of it. There's a lovely zipper in the middle. Let me get this out of the way. To keep your notions. I've got
You got a gauge check.
a
and
gauge
you've got,
check, and I've got my barber cords, and I've got, I think, crochet hook. On this side, I have my hand cream. There's also pouches here.
She's got her money.
I've got some spare money, some small change, and yeah, this is great.
And that's the number 9, right?
Right. So project number 9
Project
is the
number
small
9
one.
is the smaller one, and this is the same size in black. It also comes in a number 10.
Did
which
we
is,
have the black number 10?
I don't think there's any number 10 down in there.
Oh, really?
Wait, no,
On the
that's
side
not
there?
it. No, that's a
9?
This is a 9.
No.
Where?
Is that 9?
This is 9.
Oh, really? Wow. So, yeah, the bags kind of sold out quickly. So we had a bunch of number 9s. I think I have 2 left in the black in number 9. All the taupe, the
Walnut.
burned walnut,
Yeah.
and no, burned tan and walnut sold out.
So this would be, is that the same color as that?
I think so.
Oh, it is. I thought it was different.
This also comes in project number 10. Number 10 is the exact same bag, but bigger,
It's not that much bigger, though.
but it holds a significant
Yeah,
amount
right.
more.
But I mean, it's not like double the size of this or
no,
something.
but it's
no.
sweater quantity.
Right.
I mean, you could easily put in 8.
So there's a reason to have a 9 and a 10, is what Dinah's basically saying.
One is basically a summer version, and one is basically a winter version.
You want to do this next?
Sure.
This is a project number 31.
Right. Someone said I dated myself. I called it like a valise.
It's held this way, and it's got a regular opening in that, I guess, with more traditional opening like this.
Now, this bag is unique. First of all their, and I shouldn't say all, but their bigger project bags have this
Does
tote
the 9
bag.
have it?
Yes.
The 9
The
has
9, the 10, the 31,
And the other one.
and the fee.
Yeah.
Come with this beautiful, whatever, tote bag, and it says Redesigned Project.
This has the elastics that Dinah talked
The
about
elastic straps,
before.
right.
It also
Like
has
a needle keeper.
this zipper compartment, but notice that it
A removable pouch.
snaps out
That's for notions.
for notions. And then
You have the little pouches to keep your extra money. And of course here the compartment to keep your project.
is deeper.
Right.
So it's just a different design.
Right. It's a flip top open.
And again, this can snap in or not snap in depending, or if you have something in it. Like say you put some money in there and you were going somewhere and you didn't want to take the whole thing, you could just take the money. And Dinah's going to show you that. Just going to put that in. There you go.
So that's project number 31.
And this is the only 31 we have right now. Yeah.
I think there are 2 of them. One is in the burnt tan and one might be in the walnut.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is that the darker color?
This
Yes.
is a 30. So just to show you the difference, I don't know which is which, but you see the difference.
I think this is burnt tan and that's walnut.
There you go. I would do either one.
They're
I could live with
gorgeous.
either color.
This one here is project 12. It's like a large pencil case. Super fun. You can fit a lot of things
That's
in here.
big, yeah.
It's big. If I were to take out the stuffing, you could see how big it is. This is a salve, which I also ordered to condition
take
your
care of
leather.
your leather, yeah.
I might use it on my shoes.
I was just going to say that.
Fabulous. You can put in your scissors,
Crochet hooks,
your Altoid box that might have
stitch
been
markers and
repurposed,
needles, your money,
your cocoa knits.
and there's still room in there.
There's
You could
still
put your
plenty of room.
telephone in. No, maybe not your telephone.
But certainly quite a bit of room. Whoops. Why isn't this closing?
It's stuck on something.
Is it? Oh, yeah, the label.
The label.
Hello.
There you go.
Sorry about that. And there you go.
Do you have more of these coming in, Dinah?
Yes, we have more coming in. I should take all this stuff out.
Yeah, because then you'll be looking for it. You won't be able to find it.
And last but not least, we have
The fee.
Project Fee. F-I-E.
What is Project Fee? If you're just looking for that ultimate tote that carries everything.
This is huge. Throw in your pencil bag. Again, you have...
You could put in your Project 9 or 10 bag, too. Yeah, multiple projects. It has the...
side safety clip.
so that it holds it together. It has two handles. It's got a shorter handle.
It
like
has
this.
Yep. It has a magnetic closure.
Yep.
So you can use it as a shoulder strap bag, or you can hold it.
And this is, now again, we have it hooked inside. If we unhooked
Clipped.
it, this would open up more.
Right.
So there you go.
Fabulous bag.
There's still room in here for more.
Now we were talking about this being a great carry-on bag.
Yep.
It's really light.
Yeah.
So some of us get weighed down with our our bags.
Right, the bag, you put
The bag
projects
itself-
in it, but the bag itself is heavy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually very light without everything in
And
it.
I like the fact that it has two different
Two
handles,
options.
because you might not want it on your shoulder.
Sometimes you just want to hold it by the handle, and sometimes you want to wear it like a shoulder bag.
And when you do clasp it, it would be difficult. I mean, I guess anyone could put their hands in your bag when you get right down to it, but it's not hanging open with everything falling
No,
out.
it's definitely
It's
more
keeping
secure.
it much neater looking. So again,
It feels like a dumpling, like when
Yeah.
it comes together. I don't know.
well, that's the thing with things have original designs. So I mean, it does have a pocket here
Yes.
on the top. I think it's only on the one side, right? Though, Dinah?
Yep.
Yeah. And it does come with, as Dinah mentioned before,
This cloth tote,
a cloth tote.
which is really very generous.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of getting two bags.
So
in
there
one.
you go. It's going back on our
Mannequin.
mannequin, and there you go. She has it on her shoulder. I think we've discussed enough, Dinah.
Yes. It's been a long podcast. I think
Sorry
we
for
made
the
up for
long-
last week for not being here.
Yeah, we just had to show you everything, though. So there you go.
Thank you for tuning in. Leave us comments.
Leave us a comment. We've given you a lot to comment about. So give us your thoughts, whether it's on the knit-alongs, the projects, the yarn, the bind-offs, the stranded color work, all the various things, or these lovely tops. I just
The
think these are
sizing,
great. I
yeah.
have to pick a size now, Diane. We have to go. I have to pick a color.
Yeah. All right. See you next
See
week.
you next week. Have a great one.